citizens of YouTube land?
Hey!
It's your president and your VP. And guys, some of you might know because you've been watching the videos, but some of you might know that we're about to be going on vacation at the end of the month. And with that comes that we're going to be watching a sequel movie. Now, what sequel movie will we be watching during our vacation, you might ask? It's Twisters, of course. So we felt that it was more than appropriate to do a re-review of, well, Twister.
Yeah.
So that's what we got on top for you guys today. Honestly, the last time we did it, we didn't have access to the clips that we wanted to use. So here's a brand new review, but not really if you've seen the old one. So you don't really have to watch this, but we'd appreciate it if you guys did. So with that being said, take it away, VP, with the info.
All right. Twister is a 1996 American disaster thriller film directed by Jane DeBont, who you may remember as the director of Speed, and is also written by Michael Crichton and Anne-Marie Martin. Well, Michael Crichton is significant because he is the author of the original novel for Jurassic Park, and is also the creator of ER, and is also the director and writer for Westworld, and all sorts of the different science fiction and science fiction stuff. He's a prominent science fiction writer, but he's actually qualified for that because he has several different degrees in science.
And your two main stars, of course,
are Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton,
with an iconic supporting role from Philip Seymour Hoffman, who we know as our friend Dusty.
Yep. The film was made on a budget of $88 to $92 million, and it grossed $495.7 million at the box office. It was also released on May 10th, 1996, and it happened to be the second highest grossing film of 1996, and it is also notably known for being one of the first films to be released on DVD in the United States.
Yeah.
In fact, it is the first film to be released on DVD in the United States.
So there you go.
It even received an Academy Award nomination for Best Visual Effects and Sound, but I do not think it actually won those. And the Rotten Tomatoes score for Twisters is 63%.
Which, I don't know, that's not really, but we'll get into it. So with that out of the way, guys, one more thing to mention, and that is if you buy the DVD or the Blu-ray of this movie, it has autoplay feature on it, so it'll automatically start playing the movie, and also, if you have either one of them, it plays on repeat nonstop until you decide to shut it off.
Yeah.
So with that out of the way, let's get into the story. It begins in Oklahoma in the year 1969, and we see that there's a storm, and there's this family, and the farmer gets his family down into the cellar, okay? So there's the tornado going on outside. It's a massive one. In fact, it's an F5. Now, the daughter and the mom and the dog are down in the cellar itself. The farmer has this ridiculous notion that he's going to be able to keep the cellar door shut with just his hands.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, you would have survived if you just would have stayed with your daughter and your wife.
And so, because of this, the door swings open, and our man, he gets kind of
Wizard away off into the tornado.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz way off into the tornado.
Yup.
Sorry, I messed up the line the first time there.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm pretty sure you knew.
I understood where you were going. Because Wizard of Oz, tornadoes. Yeah. Just like with our review with A Nightmare on Elm Street. But anyways, so the daughter has saw this. It has traumatized her, okay? To the point to where she grows up to be, well, Helen Hunt, chasing storms. Her name's actually Jo, by the way.
Yeah, but we're just going to call her Helen Hunt for the rest of the review because why not? That's what we do on this channel.
We kind of do.
Remember Will Smith fish?
We kind of do that on this channel. And also, it's kind of weird and funny at the same time that Bill Paxton is playing a character named Bill. So,
Yeah. So we could just literally interchange it with saying Bill Paxton or Bill, because...
But we will refer to Philip's character as Dusty, because
Yeah.
Dusty's kind of iconic.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Here we go. So we see that Bill and his fiancée...
Yeah.
Honestly, I forgot her name.
Her name's Melissa.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm like Bill Paxton in that case where I forget her name.
Well, they show up, okay, and they're needing these divorce papers signed because lo and behold, Joe and Bill were married. Now, full disclosure, conspiracy theory time for you guys. This movie is not. It's not about chasing a tornado. It is not about putting sensors up into a tornado to warn people. This movie is about Joe getting Bill back. Don't believe me? Here's a series of clips showing it.
You never had the slightest idea. You never had the slightest idea about commitment. What being married means. Like stability and supportiveness. And a house and all kinds of neat stuff like that.
Can I drive?
No!
Then would you?
Whoa!
So with that out of the way, guys, because it's kind of obvious. And we'll get to another point where this point's made even more. But so he's there and they wanted her to sign the papers. She has not signed them yet. She subtly, very subtly, takes her class ring off to hide the fact that she was still wearing her wedding ring the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this tornado and they got to go chase it. They're like, let's go. They rope Bill and Melissa into the middle of this. Now, granted, Melissa did not ask for any of this. She simply accompanied her fiancé to get some divorce papers. She had no idea that any of what we're going to describe was going to happen.
Mind you, this happens within the span of like 2 days.
Yes. So they go chasing this tornado around. Meanwhile, there's also this like rich, snobby butthead. I forget his name. Jonas.
Yeah.
That's his name.
He's some rich asshole.
Kinda, yeah. Kinda.
He gets all the corporate sponsors and...
But, on the same hand, okay, if you look at Joe's team looks like the biggest bunch of losers you will ever meet, okay? Because
yeah, but they're doing it for science, while Jonas is doing it for money.
Right.
I like money.
Right. They're doing it for science, not for love in a relationship. It's all for the science, guys.
Well, that's the way that Bill describes it in the movie. Like, that's oversimplifying it a bit, but Bill's like, yeah, we do it for science, while he does it for money.
So, they're chasing the twister, and one thing leads to another, and suddenly they're in the middle of it. Okay?
Yeah.
And they crash Joe's truck.
Yeah, into a bridge, right? They crash Joe's truck into a bridge, and then the tornado is just like blah, 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 and picks up her truck. Mind you, they should have been sucked up into that tornado as well, because underneath that bridge would have been a wind tunnel, which means the winds would have been even stronger. Why do you think the winds are so strong in Chicago? It's because of the way the streets are made. It's the exact same way with a bridge. So they should have also been sucked up into that tornado as well.
So, the tornado sucks up her truck. And she's like, where's my truck at?
Where's my truck? There it is.
Listen.
Sean right here. And then just be like, hey, Joe, there's your truck. It's right there.
Yeah. And the truck falls right in front of Melissa, who was driving Bill's truck. Now, because Joe's truck is totaled, what are they going to do? They tell him, you're not taking my truck.
You have insurance on your truck? Liability only. Liability only. He's like, no way.
And
Ain't gonna happen.
he's nodding in agreement while telling her no. Now, here's the other thing about all this, okay? Because as I've said, that she's really just trying to get him back, and believe me, she really is from the clips, guys. Melissa then corners her a little bit later when they're in a diner.
She's like, "You're still in love with him, aren't you?"
And she goes, "Not that I blame you, but I just hope this isn't some desperate ploy to get him back." It most definitely was a desperate ploy to get him back.
Yep.
So they crashed the truck and they're taking the other truck now.
Yeah, and so they get into this big giant storm system, right? And like Bill's like, "All right, we're gonna go onto the side road actually," and they wound up getting into like a cluster of like basically water spouts right behind them, right? And then there's the cow scene. We have to show it
Cow.
because it's been turned into a meme as well. Like
Right. So they are having to outrun these water spouts and whatnot. They're in the middle of this cornfield, and they go into this barn.
No, that's later. That's
Okay,
later.
okay.
Not the water spouts.
I'm a little too far ahead.
Yeah, that's too far ahead. So like their truck is kind of spinning with the water spouts, right? And mind you, water spouts don't even have that much power. They're like weak tornadoes.
Yeah.
Like they don't have the power to spin your truck. So basically, after that, Joe is like, "We're not going to invade my aunt," because they're like, "Food!"
Shown here. Okay.
So after that, they then go to Joe's aunt's house, right? And they're eating food, and then they all of a sudden see that there's a tornado warning on screen. And so then they go and they try chasing this tornado, and they're like, "Where's the tornado at? It hasn't reared its ugly head yet." And then they just see it. And then, like, this then leads into a big fight between Joe and Bill, and shown here. And this is basically, like, when Melissa realizes that she's done for, like, she's not going to get Bill back.
Yeah, because it's overheard on the speaker. But before all that, there's this one particular part that I want to talk about. Because Dusty, if you guys didn't know, Dusty is kind of he's very wired. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
That he's very, very wired. In fact, he's probably on some stimulants. Now, what kind of stimulants are those? We'll leave you guys, the audience, up to judge that. But here's the thing. If anybody has ever ramped up on stimulants and gets onto your truck and starts berating you about tornadoes
or being
and
fashionably
screaming
late,
in your face, you have every right in the world to punch that person in the face.
or being fashionably late.
Yeah. You have every right in the world to punch that dude in the face.
Yeah. So basically, like, after that, we are then treated to a drive-in. They're at a drive-in, and they're playing The Shining, actually. Mind you, this is a Warner Brothers film, so they're allowed to play The Shining. And what's really cool is that we get this really, like,
The
big reveal of a tornado, and it's such a cool thing to do that they did. And then it's because, like, this tornado just straight up destroys the drive-in theater. And then, like, there's another tornado, and I think it's Wichita, right?
Yeah.
Or it's Waukeeta.
Yeah, Waukeeta. And that's where her aunt lives, and her aunt barely makes it out alive.
Yeah.
And her aunt goes, "It didn't give no warning. We didn't have no time. There's no rhyme or reason to it." Well, you know what, guys? It's a tornado.
Yeah, and they see that, like, the entire town of Waukeeta is nearly destroyed, and it was ranked as an F4 tornado. And then me and Dad are just like,
Ain't no Joplin tornado.
It ain't no Joplin tornado, yeah.
Which our prayers and thoughts still go out to the people of Joplin to this day.
Who are still affected by it. Like, they had to build an entirely new high school. I got to see it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I have not seen it because I didn't go when he was playing football. But, so, now they're going to chase down yet another tornado. And they got this plan, and they put the sensors up. Lo and behold, the tornado's like, "Screw you guys, I'm going to come after you now." So it reverses course, comes after them.
And they are running
They
through
are
a field.
running
All right,
through
so
a cornfield.
we'll show the clip.
Oh my god, who are these people?
I don't think so.
So stupid. Like,
Right here.
This is the clip, right? This is the clip. They're farmers! Did you not see the literal cornfield you were running through? That's farming equipment! You grew up on a farm!
Because they stumble into this barn where there's scythes and sickles and, cutting equipment for cutting wheat, cutting corn, farming equipment. They're not. Okay, Joe, I hate to break this to you, but that wasn't the Texas Chainsaw Massacre barn that you went into. It was just a normal barn.
Yeah. It's like, did you not see the literal cornfield you were running through when you were running through that? And so then it leads, you could tell this is a part of the movie that Michael Crichton did not write, because they are literally outrunning a tornado.
On foot.
On foot.
Not in a car, not in a train, not in a plane, on foot.
On foot. They're outrunning a F5 tornado, mind you. It is an F5 mile-wide tornado.
Because there's only one person that could actually do that. There's only one person that could do that. There is only one person that could roundhouse the tornado out of existence. And that man's name is Chuck Norris. You're welcome.
But they are no Chuck Norris, which means feasibly they should have been sucked up into that tornado. Like, again, pointing to that barn scene. Like, they are running through the barn, and then Joe's like, who are these people? And he's like, ain't no way. And so then they run through the barn, and the barn's literally getting destroyed as they're looking up at the tornado, where they should have been sucked up into the tornado. It's like, don't just stand there, run!
And they
run!
They anchor themselves to these pipes, and they say that the pipes are 8 feet into the ground. Well, the tornado would still be able to rip up those pipes. It showed a scene earlier in the movie where it lifts up a semi-truck and tanker, no problem at all.
Yeah.
So why would a couple of steel pipes in the ground be a problem for the tornado?
The tornado, I've seen, like, actual damage from a tornado where it's been able to lift up entire houses from their foundation. Those suckers are buried in like 10 or 12 feet deep to try to stop that kind of stuff, and it still happens because of how bad a tornado can actually be with 300-mile-per-hour wind speeds.
So, lo and behold, they do manage to get the sensors into the tornado, so yada yada.
That was before we were describing all that just happened.
Yada yada yada. They managed to get everything. Joe gets Bill back in the end, like we all saw coming from the very get-go. And yeah. But judging basically just on the special effects alone, this movie is tremendous, and it still holds up to this day as far as the special effects goes. Because, fun fact, they didn't even really use that much CGI in the movie.
They only used it for the tornadoes themselves. Everything else in the movie, it's all practical, baby. Like, there's a scene near the beginning where they destroy an actual barn and they flung a part of the debris at them. That's real. Like, that wasn't CG. They actually did that. Or like the tanker, when we saw they blew up a real tanker in the movie.
And it does feature some, despite our ragging on it, Helen Hunt is very good in the role of Joe. Bill is very good in the role of, Bill Paxton. They didn't put any much effort into naming his character.
Bill Paxton is good in the role of, Bill.
Yeah. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, he really gives a standout performance as the supporting character of Dusty. We may have ragged on the character a little bit, but
we did. It was mostly because of the stupid ending.
Philip's acting is very much appreciated and even missed to this day. We lost a real treasure when we lost Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Bill Paxton's also unfortunately gone.
So, but it's going to be interesting when we go to see Twisters, if maybe there's going to be a Helen Hunt cameo, so that would be pretty cool. We'll give you guys our thoughts on all that when we get to it. So, I guess it's final rating time for the original Twister, and I give it 3 3/4 out of 5. What say you?
I give it a 3 out of 5. It's mostly because of that stupid ending.
Well, I
That
give it a
stupid
3
final
3/4
act.
out of 5 for a couple of reasons. It's a biased. I'm a little bit biased on it because it's kind of the First Lady's favorite movie, and this is her birthday today. So y'all all wish the First Lady of YouTube Land a happy birthday. She's 40 today. But and the acting alone, the special effects, the whole presentation, even the soundtrack is really good. It's got some good Van Halen tracks in it. So yeah, that's why it's a 3 3/4, not quite a 4, and it's definitely not an I love this movie. I know for some of you guys you haven't heard that term, but for some of you others, you know the term. And it's been a long time since we've done a true I love this movie.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, though, guys, stay tuned because we've got a lot more coming out and a lot more going on and a lot of big changes coming to the channel, too. Many of you guys know that the VP is going to be going off to college very shortly, and we're going to be changing the way we do these.
Mm-hmm.
So, be on the lookout for the new setups and the new reviews coming. Until all that is set up, though, we've got 2 more Lifetime movies for you guys coming in the next month. We've also got
Lifetime's done.
We've also got our annual trip review that we're going to be doing because we're going on vacation, so you guys can expect to see footage from all of that as well as the Twisters review. And on the comics channel, we've got Batman stuff coming. We've got Spider-Man stuff coming. Just stay tuned.
Oh, and The Deviant.
And Vampirella is going to be coming. And on the music channel, not sure yet, but you guys will know when we know as far as when we're going to be doing stuff on that.
Yeah.
Video gaming channel, though, we've got Red Dead Redemption coming for you guys. What do you got on your end?
I'm working through Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
So expect those 2 on the gaming channel. And until then, there's only one thing left for us to say. And that, of course, is
Peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.